Hello and welcome to
the Eldritch Podblast.
I had to do the intro today because Margaret can't stop laughing for some reason.
I forgot the giggles.
And we've tried it at least 6 times.
Yeah,
and every single time we began, she just laughed.
Well, it's
What?
It's because the very first time we did this, we obviously have to clap to sync the mics up, right?
Yeah, well, the mics with the
mics
with
of the
room
video.
mic, yeah.
And as a joke, the first time I clapped, Jack pretended to do a really big jump. So every single time I clap, I think of that anyway. And today, there was a fucking NPC in his game last night that had like one eye.
He had like one ruined eye.
So whenever he talked, he shut his eye and talked.
Eye, yeah.
And today when I clapped, he just closed one of his eyes.
Yeah, it's because when I was getting into character and the NPC was about to say something, I closed my eye and I went to say something. And then Margaret began to like say something out of character and ask me a question. And then she looked at me and I had one eye closed and she was like, "Oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Did I interrupt your character there?" So yeah, I just closed my eye and she started laughing. And then it just went from there.
And
the time has been going for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And we haven't done anything.
No. So
hello and welcome to the Eldritch Podblast.
Eldritch Podblast.
Yes.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hello. Welcome. How are you? How is everyone? How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm great. I am all over the place.
I'm
sorry.
Having a great time.
So many people have been like, "Oh, you are our calm space," and you turn into this.
You are our calm space.
You tune into this mess. So yes, hello. Glad to have you all here. You can tell my flow has been completely thrown off.
You've been knocked off your flow
because I didn't do the intro. Yes. How are you? Have I asked you that?
You've asked me that. I'm very good. How are you?
I am great, thank you. I am trying to calm myself down because currently I am.
Why don't you calm yourself down with things that you would like to talk about?
Yes. Well, first of all, is there anything you would like to update the people on?
I got a haircut.
You did get a haircut.
I got a haircut.
I don't know if you can tell.
You can't really tell because I got my hat on, but
the side you got a mullet.
I did get a mullet.
You
Yeah,
had a very fashionable 2023 mullet.
I got a mullet. I keep saying this every single time that everyone says I got a mullet. I had a mullet about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In when I was in college, and just brought it back.
Why not?
Bring it back.
It suits you. It really suits you. I know he has his hat on, but it does really suit him.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Matthew said the same thing last night.
Yeah, very good mullet.
Made me feel very good.
I think everyone likes your mullet.
There's a thing in our group. There's a thing in our group.
Yeah, amongst the men.
Amongst the men. Well, we say amongst the men. Amongst Josh and Matthew. Basically, when, they get a haircut and they come in, if somebody doesn't say, "Oh, nice haircut," within
immediately,
like the first quarter of a second of them walking through the door, they're like, "Well, how fucking rude is it the fact that nobody fucking complimented my haircut today?"
It's fine, don't worry.
It's fine, don't worry.
Nothing's changed.
I'll just go and I'll just go and just grow my hair back out because clearly nobody cares about me getting a haircut. And Josh does the same, and they make a huge deal out of it. And I remember the day.
Oh no, here we go.
I don't really give. I don't get a haircut for any other reason than cutting my hair.
I like how you're like, "Oh, it's Matthew and Josh," and then you're like, "Actually, let me tell you about
This is the thing. They go off on one if you don't say something about the haircut.
Not in a serious way, by the way.
Second,
it is obviously all a joke.
So I got my haircut, and nobody said anything that week. And then the next week, Matthew got his haircut, and then obviously within the first 30 seconds of him being in the room, I didn't say, "Oh, nice haircut." He said, "I can't believe you haven't commented on my haircut." And I was like, "Matthew, it's been a week, and you haven't said anything about my haircut."
I know. This is coming from the man who isn't bothered.
Maybe I am bothered.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I am bothered.
Maybe it's like...
So Matthew walked in last night, and the first thing he said was, "I like your haircut."
He did. To be fair, that was actually the very first thing he said when he came in. Yeah. So I think everyone's used to seeing you with your hat on as well. Yeah. So seeing you with your hair.
I mean, my hair was pretty long. It was between, so I hadn't had it cut since July.
Yeah.
And it's now March?
Yeah.
Nearly into
July
April.
2022.
Yeah. So it was a long time.
And you know
what? It was like 7-8 months.
We were like, "Oh god, it must have been longer in lockdown," but no, even we attempted to try and cut it in lockdown because it was so long.
Yeah.
But you never really saw because he's always had his hat on. Yeah. But trust me, it was.
I'm just a hat guy. I just like wearing hats.
It was long. You are a hat guy. You always have a hat guy. So. Yeah, Jack got a haircut.
Yeah.
We did our office out a little bit.
Yeah.
So how it works is basically my office is back here. And
behind that wall.
It was our garage. We converted it into my like working office because we work from home. We have some small business, whatever. And Jack also has his gaming PC in there. So on a night we can game in there together.
Yeah.
So my half of the room was already very kitted out because I
got loads of stuff.
I have a lot of trinkets.
Yeah, Margaret's got a lot of like
soft toys.
plushies and figures and stuff like that.
I've got just stuff. Stuff I like.
I hate stuff.
Yeah, Jack has nothing.
I hate stuff. I'm not a materialistic person. I hate stuff. Stuff makes me like, it just makes, to me, it makes everything look dirty and cluttered. It does.
Wow.
It does.
Tell them your opinion on plants as well while you're at it. Let's offend everyone
So,
who watches this podcast
if you've
right
got
now.
plants in your house,
Yeah, go on.
I think your house smells.
Why? See, what the fuck, Jack?
Margaret tried to have a plant phase. They all died.
Yeah, granted, I am not a good representation of a plant owner.
I hate having plants in the house.
But the whole point of plants is they purify the air,
I
Jack.
hate having plants in the house. I hate having things in the house.
Mm-hmm.
The house is currently at a nice level where there's not too much stuff.
Yep.
And Margaret is like
not enough stuff.
Desperately clawing to get more stuff.
I am.
So we put some more shelves up.
More shelves.
So she can have some more stuff in her space.
Yes.
And I don't have to look at it.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but it's alright because when I'm playing my PC, I
you
just
look
straight
straight at
at
the screen.
I don't look over to your side.
So we put some LED lights on the back of your computer to jazz it up a little bit because you refuse to put a shelf up to put anything up.
And underneath my desk, I might get a flag.
Might get a band flag.
I think I might get a band flag.
I think that's a good idea. Get a band flag for yourself.
I might put because that's something that won't like take up any space because it'll sit flat against the wall.
True.
And if it's just one big one,
then what's the harm?
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think I'd feel stressed out.
Yeah, what's the harm? But we took a picture to send to our friends. But like, there's like loads of plates and stuff in the picture. How about we take a new picture?
We'll take a new picture. Why did you out was like that?
We'll put the picture up. We'll put the picture up
The
here.
people would have never known.
Just know that in this picture previously, there was like a stack of like 3 or 4 plates.
There was not a stack of 3 or 4. There was like one plate.
There was like 3 or 4
mug.
plates. Yeah.
It's you.
It is. Oh no, it's all me.
It's not me.
No, I'm gonna go on record. It's all me. All me.
But yeah. So this is what it looks like.
Yep. Very nice.
Yeah.
Tell whose side is whose.
Yeah.
The immediate divide in stuff.
Yeah, and obviously one's blue and one's pink because, you know.
Because gender norms, am I right?
But I tried all the other coloured lights. I really liked the red.
Yeah. The red was a bit too...
But Margaret didn't like it.
Impending doom.
I liked the green.
Yeah.
Margaret didn't like that.
Didn't like
so we stuck with blue. But blue is my favourite colour.
Yeah. Well,
so
exactly.
I was more than happy to have blue. Yeah. But I did like the red.
The patriarchy bearing down. What can I say?
And the green.
Yep. Yeah. So there you go.
So yeah.
So that's the main. We got you a new chair as well. We got you a new desk chair because
I got a new desk chair.
Jack was sat, and I can't stress enough how shrimped out you were.
I was like a dead spider.
You were like a literal dead spider in this chair. So we just
slumping over the desk like arms because obviously I didn't have anywhere to rest my arms because the arms didn't go high enough above the desk. So then I had to like rest my arms on the table, which then made me slouch over. Oh, it was horrible. Yeah,
so we got him.
I got him ergonomic chairs.
We got him like an old person ergonomic office chair.
You didn't tell me it was an old person.
It's an old person. Well, it's not. You know, I say old. You know, it's an executive chair. That's old. It's an old. It's an old person chair.
If it's an old person chair, just let me know because I'm more than happy to be an old person.
Listen, it's an executive office chair. So,
I am definitely far older than my age.
Oh, same. I'm not as old as you, granted, but yes.
I definitely think I should start doing the crossword.
Like 20. You think you'd enjoy doing the crossword?
Absolutely not. Yeah, I mean the most stressful thing on a morning.
29 in body, 60 in spirit.
60 in spirit.
What can I say?
Easily 60.
What can I say? So yeah, got you a new chair, and that's really the update on the stuff.
The life.
We
played D&D last night.
We did play D&D last night. We'll talk about that after the few things I have prepared
for it.
To talk about. So, I cannot remember which episode it was when I was like, alert, someone has done fan art of my character.
It wasn't last one or the one before. It was
I think it was,
that.
yeah.
So it was either 17 or 18.
Yeah, it was a recent episode. But one of our friends who's in the community, Philippa, she started a commission for my, if you didn't know, I have a moon druid.
Mm-hmm. That's one.
That's one. I have a moon druid called Reyla.
That's two.
And I just briefly showed some artwork of her, but some commissions I'd gotten done because I'd just gotten back a wolf version of her. And Philippa did some fan art.
Yeah.
And we had the sketch and the line art done by the time we'd filmed. So now, Philippa hit us up and it's finished.
It's finished.
My girl's finished.
Yeah.
So without any further ado, I would like to present you Reyla Moondancer. Fan art done by Philippa Morgan Design.
Amazing.
Isn't she?
How amazing does that look?
Absolutely stunning. I cannot believe. I've said this before. I will say it again. I do not understand how someone can look at a piece of artwork.
Look at a piece of artwork and then just draw it.
Oh, I'll just recreate that.
I'll just do it. Yeah.
I'll just
draw it in my style.
And it's like you said. You like Philippa took her and moved her in like a 3D space.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Changed the perspective of her.
2D, 3D spaces.
Yeah, how? I don't understand. I truly don't understand.
I don't even know how you would turn one image to that angle, but then also to draw it.
Yeah, no, literally the same.
You just don't get it.
I cannot stress how perfect she is.
How amazing does it look?
Philippa's really, I feel captured like her look.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to put it into words.
It is insane how
well
it's so different in style.
Yeah.
Yet it looks exactly like Reyla.
Exactly. And again, it's like the facial expression and it's like the look. I don't know.
It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what the words I'm looking for are here, but
we're going to link to Philippa's what?
So Philippa has
TikTok.
Yes.
And
so she has a TikTok, she has an Instagram, and she has her portfolio website as well.
Mm-hmm.
Her commissions are currently open as well.
So head over there.
If you like what you see, and her Instagram has more, obviously more examples of her artwork.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her commission prices, which are very, very, very reasonable.
Yeah.
Considering she does them in full color. Like you don't have to get one in full color. There's a huge range she offers.
Yeah.
But I just think.
What
more could you want for your D&D
very,
character?
Very, very impressive.
So
head over there.
Yes, please do.
Check Philippa's Instagram, TikTok, anything like that. And, if you want to get yourself a commission,
please do. Yeah, please
hit
do.
Philippa up.
Yeah, please
We're going to leave
do.
all that in the description.
Yes, but just in case you want to search right now without having to do anything.
Don't click off the video.
Oh, no.
The algorithm.
No. Oh, yeah, no, please stay. Listen, stay. But her handle and everything is Philippa Morgan Design.
Amazing.
So, Philippa, thank you so much. I think I've already spammed her with so many messages being like, But honestly, truly, thank you so much. She's beautiful, stunning. All I could have ever wanted.
Margaret can now die happy.
Oh, yeah, well, exactly.
Somebody just drew
someone
her.
just drew my character.
Somebody just drew her character for her.
I can't believe it. I've said it before. I can't believe anyone would be so kind as to want to do something like that for me. So truly, thank you.
Thank you.
And you know what? That leads me. I should have mentioned this in the office bit, but I put up like a new. I say I put up a new. Jack put up a new photo grid thing.
No,
you did. No, you did. I failed terribly.
You didn't fail terribly.
I put one nail in the wall, and I was like, I am done. But I got a new photo grid, and
we did it together. It was a joint effort. It was a joint.
Thank you. And I have obviously had other D&D characters in the past that I've got commissions for because I'm a crazy person. And
so on there is your Tiefling Barbarian.
My Tiefling Barbarian beloved.
Your Furbolg Druid
Willow. And then there is my Drow Moon Druid Reyla.
3.
That's 3.
So she said Moon Druid
I've said it 3 times. And there is actually even in one of the commissions, I got a commission of beloved Willow and then Lilith, my cleric, my grave cleric.
That's not in there, is it? That's in the front room.
No, she's in there as well.
Oh, she in there as well?
I have multiple copies.
Yeah.
So here's some.
Yeah.
I don't know when I've overlaid the footage of all of it, but these are all.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much, and the fan art from both.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Both Philippa and Sephi are on there as well.
On there as well.
So
yeah.
Thank you so much. I am. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Oh, mwah. Yeah, little mwah. Thank you. So those were the main updates.
Yes, I want to say one thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot that I was going to say this, but
Okay.
you said something earlier, and it's jogged my memory.
Yes.
My memory has been jogged. Thank you to every single person who has come to our videos, realized that we've got a small business,
Oh,
and come through
man.
and ordered on our Etsy shop.
On our Etsy shop.
Because last week, we sort of like, because of all the podcasts and everything that we're doing at the minute, we're sort of trying to get all of that work done at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
There was so many orders.
There was
from
so
people,
many orders.
And obviously, if you do order, let us know that you come from the podcast.
Yeah, please leave
just with a little message or anything like that.
Just so we know.
Just so we know, yeah, because it's nice for us to just put something else in there to just thank you and say thanks a lot for coming from the podcast.
Exactly.
But the amount of people that said it, I couldn't believe it.
I know, unbelievable.
I couldn't
like
believe it.
Truly, like I wish we'd like written out a list of names of people who had done it so we could say thank you.
I mean, they've got a thank you and they've got an extra thank you.
Oh
in the
yeah,
box.
we handwrite like a little summit for you. But truly, we had no idea if people would even slightly be interested in the things we sell, and I don't know whether it's just you're just doing it because you want to support us, which we truly appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do want to support us, that there is options there. We do have an Etsy store where we sell all sorts of things for D&D, and you'll get something back for it as well.
Yeah.
So, really, truly, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Cannot believe it, and we truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, we played D&D last night.
Yeah.
Which shall we? I just want to say, the last scene, the mise en scène.
The
last scene before we finished was probably the coolest scene in D&D I've ever fucking played in my life.
Good.
It was. And I know that our party, if watching, they would say the same. It was. I don't really know how to set the scene.
It's hard when you don't understand the context.
It's hard when you don't understand the context, but basically, Jack is amazing at finding a piece of music to match a scenario.
Yeah.
And we play in like a really like Nordic, like Viking-esque campaign.
Yeah.
And
sort of. It's just got like Viking themes running through it.
Yeah, but it is very,
Yeah.
And we basically had gone into, if you know anything about like Norse mythology, we had gone into somewhere called Vanaheim.
Mm-hmm.
And
in this game, Vanaheim, all of the realms of Midgard obviously hang from the tree of Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
But Vanaheim is like the Feywild in my world.
Yeah.
It's like a very like natural, overgrown sort of whimsical area, and it very much is a close plane to Midgard.
Yes, yeah. And we had gone in there, we had just found some new information out that we were trying to know what to do with it, and we got in, and every single time we'd been in before, it was like this really like lush, sunny, bright, Feywild-esque area. However, we stepped through the portal, and we've been chasing this storm for the past 2-3 sessions, I would say.
Yeah.
And we entered into the eye of the storm. And we have ambient lighting, so we changed all the ambient lighting to like really dark blues and whites and purples. And you put up a video of like this dark thunderstorm, and you played this soundtrack that was just the most intense thing ever. And it was so overwhelming, I nearly cried because it was so fucking cool.
Good.
And
well, not good that you nearly cried, but good that,
and there was like
the emotions.
There was a really cool lore drop, and it's hard for me to explain it without you guys having actually seen what had happened.
Basically,
but please take my word for it.
Ragnarok was supposed to happen, and it didn't.
Yeah.
In the world, and they're starting to find out like that not all is as it seems. Apparently, Tyr like sacrificed himself to make Ragnarok not happen, but it turns out he's just holding 3 chains of the 3 sons of Loki in Vanaheim.
Mm-hmm.
But they're sort of getting the upper hand. Everyone thought that them being chained was it. They would just die there because like he defeated them in battle and they were very wounded when they went back.
But that is simply not the case.
Tables have turned. So they just saw, for the first time last night, they just saw the first child of Loki. They just saw Jormungandr.
Yeah. And Jormungandr is this...
Jormungandr in my campaign is not the Serpent of the Sea or anything like that. Because everyone in my campaign is petrified of the ocean and dark water, including me. Yeah. So he is now the Serpent of the Sky.
Serpent of the Sky.
So yeah, there was like this roiling storm, and as the lightning cracked, it sort of lit up the clouds, and they saw like sections of the serpent like traveling through the dark clouds, and
And it was like, oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was absolutely. I really wish that you guys had seen it because it was amazing. It was so cool. And that moments like that is what I perceive D&D to be all about.
Yeah, like those big, like epic cinematic reveals.
It was so cinematic. It was amazing.
The reveals and the big lore drops. That's what. Like,
it was amazing.
That's what gives me joy as a DM.
Yeah, that's what gives me joy as a player as well. And I think everyone agrees. Abby was, first of all, living her best life. Yeah. Abby was living for it. Matthew was living for it. Josh was living for it. I was living for it. It was amazing. Good. It was so cool.
It's nice as well to to see like the fruits of your labor pay off, because they've had like bits and bits and bits.
Yeah.
And they think they've began to feel like they know what's going on without me telling them. Mm-hmm. I've given them enough where they began to be like, oh, what if it's this and what if it's this, and I think it's this. And as the sessions have gone on, they've gotten closer and closer and closer and closer until they've nearly got like things figured out.
Yeah.
And then for them to see it, it was just that sort of like, right, fuck, we know what's happening now.
Yes. Oh man, it was amazing. It was so cool. And before we went in, because we have like a portal to Vanaheim. It's a whole thing. Anyway, before we went through the portal, Josh, his character Igneous, was like, everyone, we are going to go through, and Jormungandr is going to be there. We are going to be in the eye of the storm, so watch out. And all of us were like, oh, shut up. No way. No, we're not going to go into the eye of the storm here. The storm's over there, dummy. Sorry, Josh.
Yeah.
We go through.
He's definitely right.
We go through. I am not kidding you, in Jormungandr's asshole. We are so close.
You aren't that close. You aren't that close.
But,
it's in the distance, but.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well done, you. It was great.
Yeah, well done, everyone, for getting there.
Yep, thank you.
They all leveled up to level 7.
Yes, level 7. I took another level in Barbarian.
Yes, you did.
So,
there's only been a handful of episodes, a handful of sessions since you dinged level 6.
Yes, yeah.
But to me, we do milestone leveling. We don't do XP leveling because of God knows how many reasons.
You don't need to.
We don't need to get into that. But so. They could have not gone here and done this yet, but they did. And I was like, you're already level 7. Yeah. And it's not, really, they haven't been level 6 long enough, but because they hit that milestone, you've got. I always said to myself, as soon as you see the first child of luck, you get to level up. Yeah. No matter what level, not what happened.
Hey, no one's complaining.
It could have been the session before that you were level 6, but because you hit that milestone.
No one's complaining, Jack. No. Everyone was absolutely buzzing. We were absolutely buzzing at the end of that, and then to have to roll like the hit dice and everything, get the new stuff, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. Level 7. Yeah.
Level 7s.
I took another level in Barbarian,
so
I have Reckless Attack and Danger Sense.
And Danger Sense. Two extremely good features.
Yeah. So we'll see where we go.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I have one last thing. I know that we have been talking for
ages.
We have been talking for a little while here. There was just a lot to update the people on.
There was,
what can I say? Please let us know. Are you okay with us blabbering on this much before we get into the actual topic?
Yeah.
Let us know. Do you like hearing about this stuff? Do you like hearing
apparently people like hearing about the session.
Yes, which is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, which is really amazing. It makes me feel really good that you all seem so interested.
Yeah.
Because it's nice to tell people about these.
Of course.
Obviously, none of it really makes sense to you because you don't have the full context.
I promise one day we will give you the full context.
Oh, yeah.
We're just in a strange position right now where
and we've talked to every member of our party about them coming on and stuff like that, and
they're all happy to do it. So it's coming. I promise.
It's coming. Yeah.
I promise. So the last thing I would like to talk about is we actually have had a follow-up from some of the advice submissions.
Yes, we have.
And this is very exciting. We always say at the end when we do one of our advice episodes, I think this one comes from episode 17 specifically, we always say, if this advice has helped, if you have done if there's any updates, please let us know. And this person has.
Yeah.
So this was submitted by Anonymous, and they go by she, her. Yeah. And to give you, if you haven't seen the episode, it was the very last submission, and the basic gist of it was the person who submitted the question is the DM of the group.
Yeah.
They've been playing together for a while now, but this is the first campaign they're trying to do some role-playing.
Yes.
Which, first of all, amazing. Yeah. Really excited for you that you're doing that. And they had 2 PCs who were kind of like the main leading PCs, which you normally do have.
Yeah, comfortable in the roleplay.
Yeah.
Understandable. Yeah.
And they had kind of like a playful back and forth relationship. And again, everyone's still working into roleplay. Yeah. However, there was one situation where the 2 PCs butted heads and escalated until it kind of bled into
boiled over
above the table, which sometimes it happens.
Yeah, sometimes it does happen.
It just happens. So OP, who submitted it, was basically asking the question, how do I deal with this? Because I don't know how to deal with in-game roleplay stuff yet.
Yeah.
And it did boil over. So what do I do? Our basic advice was bring them together, give them the safe space to talk about it, and just ask them the question, and they'll probably sort it out. And let me tell you, that's pretty much exactly what happened.
That's really good.
So I will just read exactly what she has sent in.
Go for it, yeah.
So, hey guys, I'm the advice on my players getting a little heated. I wanted to let you know that I followed your advice, and oh my god, did things turn out great. Pardon me. We had our weekly Monday evening hangout, so perfect timing, and I told them how that moment made me feel and asked exactly what caused such a harsh reaction and if anything is happening outside of the game. They both apologized to me and then each other.
It's really good.
They explained their characters' motivations, goals, and frustrations with each other's characters and how role-playing is intimidating, and they both thought they were doing it right. It all truly was just a miscommunication and there was no hard feelings. We talked about how we could move forward in a way that doesn't cause such a reaction, and we now have a house rule where you can yellow card if you're feeling uncomfortable or if you need to talk about an action or a role-playing moment. Amazing. That is
quite a common one as well.
Yeah,
the card system.
A healthy, great safety tool to implement.
Yeah, it's great for safety tools as well. If you just
100%.
A topic that you're feeling uncomfortable, like yellow card, red card,
100%
to indicate that you're just uncomfortable, or you would just like to straight move on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more clear than that, is there? So while it sounds overbearing, we implemented a hug or hold hands rule before the session, and we make sure to say a quick "I love you" and "I cherish our friendship."
Amazing.
Which is
that's the best.
Oh, that got me
I feel like we're going to now implement that.
Yeah, I love that.
I feel like we should have a group hug at the beginning
Hell
of every
yeah.
session.
Abby will be real pleased.
Devastated.
About that.
Abby can just stand she can just stand close.
Just give a thumbs up from the
watch.
yeah. So we had our session on Tuesday, and it changed everything. Character B was much more patient with everyone making decisions and willing to contribute to combat. Character A was willing to let go of some of the thievery and help out with some of the deception. Character B and A had a cute fireside moment, and they coordinated it themselves.
That's so awesome.
They still bickered and they got into heated arguments, but once it was over, they sent a message in the Discord to let each other let each other know they love each other a lot.
Amazing.
We ended our session with a lot of loot, a new NPC's friend, much to Character B's distaste, and everyone is in high spirits for next week.
It's awesome. That's
Thanks
so
again,
amazing.
Margaret and Jack.
So good.
Man. That is
like that's perfect. Like if there is a moment that, like gets a little bit heated, or there is like an inter-party argument or something like that, to just after that moment, either just send somebody a message or just be like, that was awesome roleplay, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. Just to make that other person know in that moment
that
everything's
okay.
That was character.
Yeah, definitely.
Me and you were still cool.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Man, I am so, so, so glad that everything panned out the way it did.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to you, OP, to actually just do it.
To just do it.
Hard.
To take that advice, and because we just gave you the advice.
Yeah.
You did it.
You're the
executed
one.
It.
Yeah, you don't need to say thank you to us because you're the one who did it.
Yeah.
We just made sure that you had all the options available to you. That's it. So wow. And
awesome.
Your players, well done to your players for being able to be honest and just air everything out. And I really hope going forward now that you're going to be fine. And if something like this happens again, just open the communication up again. But it doesn't sound like it will. So well done, you.
Amazing.
And thank you so much for following up with us.
Yes.
And this applies to anyone who's listening. If we've read out one of your advice submissions.
Yeah, just let us know how, whatever we said to you, how it went.
And we'll do our best to give a little follow-up in the next episode.
Awesome.
So, without any further ado, half an hour in, should move on to today's topic.
Let's go. What is it, Margaret? What's the topic for today?
Today's topic is everyone's favourite, Am I the Asshole?
Amazing.
D&D edition.
Amazing.
So normally we would pull from our submissions, but at the time that we wrote this script, which was actually a little while ago now, we had kind of exhausted all of the Am I the Assholes that we were going to include.
Yeah.
So if you have any, please feel free to submit them.
Get them submitted.
Let us know. We have a submission form.
Give us a little submission on the submission form down below.
All of these ones are taken from the Reddit.
We're taking this from the Reddit.
The Reddit. So, shall we just get straight into it?
Of course we shall.
Okay.
Number one.
Number one, I can confidently say this is
Yeah, you
number
can.
one. Yes, I can. Couldn't tell you
Couldn't
anything
fuck
else
that
after
one up.
that. No, I could not. This is number 12. So, I might just be a whiny loser, but am I justified for being angry that my party chose to revive an NPC who accepted their death and they just let me die? It was the final session of our campaign, and during the final boss battle, almost all of us went down, and I was the only one to fail my death saves. After the encounter was over, everybody was barely alive, and there was a choice to be made between an NPC, the DM, who was indirectly saying who was okay with their death and wanted it to happen. After about 10 minutes of deliberation, they revived her, and the DM was clearly confused. Am I justified about being annoyed about this, or am I just being an idiot? Now there is an update.
Okay.
Mass edit for context for what everyone is talking about.
Yes. I would like a little bit of context because so far I would be devastated.
So the NPC was pretty important for the story. She was married to the wizard, but her whole story had been concluded from here. I wasn't an annoying player, at least as far as I was informed, and we were all pretty close. And the wizard did not make the deduction as he had connected to both of us. So NPC was married to the wizard in their party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
the NPC was married to the wizard in the party.
yes.
Okay.
But again, the thing is, OP says the wizard didn't contribute to the conversation because he had connected to both of us.
Okay.
So what do you think? Are they the asshole for being annoyed?
No.
No way.
Why, like, how could you? It is an NPC can be important. An
Definitely
NPC can be vital.
Yeah, we understand that.
We understand that.
NPCs.
We have recurring NPCs.
We love
in
our NPCs.
every campaign.
I'm going to say his name again.
You can say the name.
I'm going to say Dagmar
You
again.
can say Dagmar.
We love a little bit of Dagmar.
You love Dagmar.
Love Dagmar.
But there's like important NPCs like King Ingvar.
Yes.
He's Runa.
Runa.
There's a bunch that you've already met so far. You've just met Josh's family.
Yeah.
You can imagine they'll probably be recurring
Yes,
NPCs.
indeed.
You have your family,
Yeah.
who we've seen but haven't met in game.
Yeah, we'll have priestesses.
Yeah.
We have King Johannes, Earl Johannes, pardon
Earl
me.
Johannes, yeah.
Yeah.
You have you have Odiger,
Yeah.
the person who turned Abby's character into
Into
a
a
vampire.
vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a number of recurring NPCs,
Yeah.
but they aren't as important as players.
I agree.
They don't sit around the table and, yes, I create backstories for them, but I only create backstories for them to drive the plot along.
Yes, yeah.
Coming directly from your backstories.
Yes.
Yes. Earl Johannes only exists because Matthew's backstory required Earl Johannes.
Yes, yeah, of course.
It doesn't matter, to me, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how important or vital an NPC is. If it's between an NPC and a player, you pick the player.
Yeah, and it's okay to be torn as well. It's okay in those moments to be like, oh God, I really don't want this NPC to die.
God, I understand that. But also, like, my feelings aren't going to get hurt if an NPC dies.
Yeah.
A player's feelings are going to get hurt.
Yes.
If an NPC dies.
Yeah.
It also depends, though. Is that player are they at peace with dying?
It doesn't sound like this.
This person doesn't know. But in that situation,
exactly.
Like if somebody sat at the table and
Yeah.
they're like, guys,
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't
Like,
worry about it. I'm
revive the NPC.
fine. Yeah.
My
I'm fine.
character has done everything they needed to do.
Yeah, and I think it's hard. Situations like that are hard because, again, I'm going to talk about metagaming.
Yeah.
Because
there is an aspect of metagaming, yeah.
Let's use this exact example. So the wizard, it was their wife. No, his wife. Sorry, they say him.
Mm-hmm.
It was his wife. And as the character, as the wizard was probably like, yes, save my wife.
Yeah.
Whereas the player is like, well, we shouldn't really save my wife.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's an element where there does have to be a bit of metagaming
Probably,
in that scenario.
Yeah.
Because
the wizard knows that the wife is an NPC.
Yeah.
No matter, I know it's their wife. I know.
No,
and,
yeah, I
like,
know.
The only person at that table I would say has a vote for voting for the NPC is the wizard.
Yes.
Because the wizard would not want their wife to die.
Yeah,
but also the wizard knows that it's a player.
Yes,
or
exactly.
my NPC wife.
There's that weird part where you do have to separate those
Character
two
from,
things.
yeah,
Exactly.
You do.
And you do have to think, well, my friend is sat across the table from me.
My real life friend.
Is my friend comfortable with this happening? And clearly OP wasn't. Clearly the DM.
Clearly not. Yeah, and the DM
was confused. The DM was like, no, she's fine. Her story's concluded. And like, she's fine.
You know, like, it sounds like the DM did their bit and was like, no,
nah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the DM. Don't worry about the NPC. The NPC's happy and at terms with it. And then they just
you know
the
what?
NPC.
For it to be the final battle as well, like...
You don't get to, like, sit in the revelry of everything that you've done.
You just die and then an NPC gets brought back. But again, if you're fine with that, then the only person who can say if they're fine with it is OP, right? And OP says they're not, and you're justified. You are justified.
Oh, you're more than justified.
And you are not being a whiny loser. No way.
Absolutely not.
Like, you're being really harsh on yourself there.
The thing is, you go through the whole campaign to, you go through the adventure, you kill the BBEG, you do everything that you need to do, and then at the end, you have that moment where you all sit around that table and you're all crying like fuck.
Yeah.
Because you're buzzing that you've finished it. And then for that person to just not have that because their character died and you revived an NPC just must be devastating.
Absolutely devastating. So no, you are not the arsehole here.
Nope, don't think so.
There should have been more of a conversation at that moment.
Yeah. Well, apparently it took 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, that's a good conversation.
And the thing is, it depends as well. Will your DM let you talk above table? Because some DMs wouldn't. Some DMs would see that as metagaming.
Yeah.
I know for a fact if that was our situation, you would allow us to have a conversation person to person and say...
I don't think you would have the conversation. You would see the NPC down and you would see a player down.
You would take the player,
the other three of you would be like, right, let's get a player up.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just surprised it was even a conversation.
Yeah, I know.
And then the conversation ended up in this decision.
I know. That's really sad. I'm sorry.
That
I'm
is
sorry,
sad.
OP.
You are not the asshole.
You are not the asshole. No. Okay. Number 2.
Wow.
Give me a little note down. So, because we have so many topics, we're currently trying to get Jack to note down every single time I move on to the next one. So my chapter selection for you guys is a little bit better because sometimes they can be a little off. Just a little. So, am I the arsehole for killing my fellow party member's pet? In my D&D game,
I'm already not filled with a huge amount of confidence.
We got to Neverwinter, and half the group's characters are not well adjusted to city life. My character is the most suited to city life and knows how to act around guards and what to do and what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
My fellow party member is a ranger with a horrific-looking rat drake companion. He insists on keeping it summoned while we are out in the city, which has frequently had commoners scared and guards called on us. My character has tried to explain to the ranger it's a bad idea, and that he can resummon his rat drake when we aren't around guards, but to no avail. Eventually, this led to a moment where the guards were being called on us, and my character made the quick decision to kill the ranger's companion before the guards could show up and cause trouble. Since then, the ranger has not forgiven my character for doing this and is very upset. So the question is my character the arsehole for killing the ranger's drake companion?
I like how you say, is my character
I know.
the arsehole? I like how you came to Reddit and asked this question.
But is my character the arsehole?
But, it wasn't me. I didn't make the decision. Is my character the arsehole? You are an arsehole for doing this.
There is an edit. But the edit says, I put a comment providing more context and an update on the situation. I couldn't find the comment.
I don't know if it matters.
I did read through the comments, right? And the only thing I could see that makes this less worse is the fact that the ranger can just resummon the companion.
Oh, after it's been killed?
It's kind of like a Find Familiar scenario, I think. I'm not sure. I couldn't find the comment with the update, unfortunately. But does that make it any better?
I don't think so.
I also don't think so. I think it makes it better.
I mean, the fact that it's less permanent is better.
Yes, of course.
For the ranger.
Yes, of course.
But
for them to kill the rat drake
What
companion,
if the rat drake has been with them for their entire lives?
What's a rat drake?
I don't know. It's a rat with wings.
Oh, I hope so.
But it doesn't.
And it's the lead up. To me, it's the lead up of OP being like, they're not well adjusted. My character is. He has this hideous looking rat drake companion. Sorry, they never mentioned. Oh no, They have this horrific looking rat drake. And it's like, you obviously just have a problem with the rat drake.
Yeah, and also, is it a little bit on the DM for consistently
I feel
calling
like
the guards?
I feel like the DM set up a scenario here where...
Like, 'cause it sounds like it's not the first time that the guards have been called because of the ugly pet.
Yeah, no. Like, I feel like the DM is setting up a scenario here where it's really easy for there to be conflict in the party with
like,
the ranger.
It's becoming, like, inconvenient for the ranger to have that. I mean, the ranger, yes, could probably just unsummon the pet if it's a problem.
Yeah.
But you might want it out.
I know. That was the whole point in being... It sounds like...
If it's not being harmful, why are they calling the guards?
I know.
If it's just
I feel
sort of like chilling out and living its best Drake rat life.
Drake rat.
Just living its best life. Why are the guards getting called?
I know. I feel like this is also more on the DM as well.
I think it's on the DM
However,
and the player.
Don't kill. Do not harm your party member's shit.
Your party member's pet.
Yeah, come on.
Like they might have a quite dependent relationship on the pets, and it might make them feel comfortable, and it might be like the only thing that they remember from their home, or
and
things like that.
The fact that the ranger is still upset and still has not forgiven them.
But the thing is, it's like, let me just like, I have a dog.
Yes.
If I could bring my dog back, but the fact that somebody wanted to kill my dog.
I know. Still, it doesn't matter, does it?
It would still upset me, the fact that person wanted to kill my pet.
I know. And the thing is, OP is talking in a mixture of out of game and in game. And it sounds like they're saying the ranger hasn't forgiven my character. Is this all in game, or is this all coming out?
I don't know, because at the end the person says, is my character the asshole?
I know. Why would I not
Look. This doesn't sound like something that your character wanted to do. You made that decision for your character.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you made that decision for your character.
Yeah.
I think you're a bit of the asshole.
I think you're a little bit of the asshole here.
I think you're trying to just mask that with, is my character the asshole?
I know. And yes, if they can resummon it, yes, it isn't the same scenario.
It's the principle.
However, it's like you said, regardless of if we could summon the dog again,
the fact that somebody who I'm supposed to be adventuring with,
wants to harm my dog.
Wants to harm my dog.
I know, yeah, of course. So yeah, sorry, you are the asshole.
Yes, you definitely are the asshole.
I think the DM is a bit of an asshole here too.
And the DM are the asshole.
Yeah. Sorry. I am sorry that I couldn't find the comment. Maybe it clarified some stuff. I don't know.
I don't know if it matters that much.
I don't know.
I don't know if it matters that much.
Okay. Next. Number 3.
Oh, wow.
Number 3.
Oh, number 3. What are we on? Nice.
Yeah. So, the scrying debate in my group. Okay, so we had a bit of a heated debate in my group about a week ago. This is my first long-running campaign, by the way, and I'm the least experienced player in my group, so I don't know if that's a factor. We are hunting down a spy of one of the big bads in our campaign, and 2 separate times last session, the DM asked me to roll a wisdom saving throw, and then no explanation was given. Everyone had a good little paranoid laugh, and we moved on from that. But I remembered that in an earlier session, literally weeks ago, my character had lost a tooth, so I suspected I'm being scryed on. Also, there is nothing scarier than your DM randomly being like, just make this save. Nothing scarier. I asked my DM if my character feels anything as I'm making these saving throws, and he basically says no. Another player at the table asked me why I'm asking, and I said, I think I know what's happening, but if my character isn't feeling anything, then I can't do anything about it. Haha. So she asks me what I'm thinking is happening, and I remind her of the tooth and that it's really rare for us to get a description of how we get hurt, and it's usually just damage points taken. And I think the spy is scrying on me. That's big brain thinking.
That is big brain thinking, yeah.
At this point, another player is getting really annoyed, and he says that this is metagaming, and I can't make decisions on knowing that scrying is a wisdom saving throw. I said I wasn't doing that, but that's just why I asked. But he went on to say I should have kept it to myself, and that just by telling everyone, I'm ruining the mystery. And that started a whole thing, and it got really tense, and the DM just wanted to move on, but the rest of the session was all wonky after. So my question is, am I in the wrong here? It all feels so silly to get upset over. Am I the arsehole?
This is a tough one. This is a really, really tough one because, you know, if I would love it, live for it, want to just kiss my players and hug them and just
Mwah.
love them. If I said, "Oh, you got your tooth knocked out," an overly overt description of damage, and then I was asking them to make wisdom saving throws,
and then someone pieced that together.
If they had pieced that together and said that they think that somebody had scryed on them, that would make me feel so happy that they are like thinking that
engaged
much
and thinking about it.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you don't have scrying, your class doesn't get scrying, you wouldn't know that you were... Because you wouldn't know if you're getting scryed on.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
If you don't save, you don't know.
But also, OP makes a point to say, my character doesn't know.
Yeah.
This is all stayed above board.
This is speculation.
Simply, and, you know...
There's nothing wrong with a bit of speculation, in my opinion. Live it. My
I
players speculate all the time.
So much speculation, constantly. But that was a loud...
Sorry.
A loud mouth clear in there.
It was a little loud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Cut it out.
I'll move further away.
Thank you. Yeah, we we love to speculate, but yeah this OP sounds like they never actually brought it into the character being like, I'm being scryed on.
Yeah.
They just said it above the table because someone said, what do you think is happening?
So to me, I wouldn't have a problem with this at all.
Mm.
I wouldn't care at all that my players said, I think I'm being scryed on.
Yeah.
Like, I would love it if they said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd be more than happy for them to be like, I don't know. I wouldn't even be bothered if they were like, I feel a bit weird. I feel like somebody's watching me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care at all.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't care.
Yeah, but that is down to different DMs.
Yeah, that is down to, but that's it. Like,
yeah.
Different tables have a different level of metagaming that they allowed.
Exactly.
I think ours is like right in the middle. We don't like too much metagaming.
Yeah.
But we don't like too little metagaming.
Yeah.
We don't mind.
I can only speak for myself. I think to a degree that there needs to be a level of metagaming when you get into super serious things.
Agree.
That's just, you know,
that's
just my
our
opinion.
table. That's our table. And I think a lot of people would come to our table and be like, this is too much metagaming for me.
Which I understand. I get
and
that.
That's fine, but that's the level of metagaming that we allow.
Yeah.
And that's the level of metagaming that we enjoy. But
the thing is, though, it sounds like it's just this one player. This one player is like, well, you've just ruined the mystery for everyone, which I can sympathize with.
But also you don't know if that is what's happening.
Yeah, the DM is neither confirmed nor denied. Yeah. It's just something to speculate on. And I'm going to say it, I don't think anyone is really the asshole here.
I agree.
I think... I don't care that you broke your elbow.
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
I think that it's maybe just a lapse in communication between what everyone
expects.
Expectation.
Like metagaming can for some people just truly take them out of the game.
Yeah.
And unimmerse them and sort of like ruin that mystery and ruin the mood.
Which I agree, but you know,
but at the same time,
it is just speculation.
But at the same time, you also asked what they thought was happening.
Yeah.
They gave you an explanation, and then you said, "Oh, well, why are you doing that?"
It was a different player who had asked. It was a different player.
Was it a different player?
Yes, it was.
Then I retract that.
Yes, it was.
But then it is literally just two different opinions on metagaming and how much should be allowed.
Yeah. See, what I would perceive as metagaming would then be at that point for the character without clarifying it to go, "I'm being scryed on." I think that would be metagaming. I don't think that this just going, is this what's happening? I love that.
In the game, you were then like, I'm being scryed on.
Exactly.
Because you don't know that.
Yeah.
First of all, you don't know if you're being scryed on because it's not been confirmed.
Yeah.
And you're just making an educated guess, but your character doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Unless, they have the scrying spell.
In which case, it could potentially be different. But
and it's like, if you don't even feel anything, then you don't know at all.
Yeah, how would you know?
So then there's nothing to speculate on.
Yeah. But the fact that OP didn't even bring it into the game, they just asked a question, another player was like, "Oh, what are you thinking?" And then another player got upset. I think that truly is just a difference in what to expect around the table. Yeah. And there should maybe be a conversation.
A conversation about how much metagaming is allowed, yeah.
Definitely.
I agree.
So no, I don't think anyone's the asshole here.
I don't think anyone's the asshole here.
No, I don't.
But,
man, that is big brain. Especially because OP says I'm the least experienced. That is some big brain stuff.
But the thing is, it's right when you have those descriptions where like your tooth gets knocked out, and you're like, oh man, that's very graphic. And then something happens to you, you're like,
especially when that's not the norm.
yeah.
To have something like that
But
happen,
to me, the fact that player
latched onto that and
the
took
player
it.
has paid enough attention to be like,
Yeah.
oh, that was a very, very like cool description. And I
Yeah.
lost a tooth. That's super cool. Like, yeah. And for them to then use that to think of a reason,
Mm.
to me, that would just show me that my players are listening.
Yeah,
and
they're engaging, they care.
engaging their brains.
Definitely.
And, like,
That
love
one brain cell. Yep.
Love that
I agree.
so much.
I agree. No, I don't think anyone's the
I
asshole
don't.
here, really. Okay, on to number 4.
I can tell you, it's number 4.
No.
I've got this
Are
Yeah.
you the?
I'm the number guy now.
Oh my
I'm the numbers
goodness.
guy.
On to number 4. So, am I the asshole for not telling my players about a plot twist in Dungeons and Dragons? Me and my 2 best friends regularly play D&D, but I hardly ever get to be the DM. Recently, I decided I wanted to try my hand at running a long-term campaign as the DM, and I told them it was going to be high fantasy. They agreed to play the campaign, but we couldn't actually get started until after May had finished. Pardon me. I got grubby fingers. The twist I had planned, I've been working on refining my world and ideas since before May actually started, which didn't bother me, as it just means I've been really excited for this for a while now, which is why I feel so attached to the plot twist.
Yeah.
The twist I had planned was that secretly, at various points in the game, their characters would slip into another world, which ended up being our regular human world. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Did you hear that?
Well,
That was strange. So the regular human world. I had planned that there would be big plot threads tying the high fantasy world to the human world, and it would be a unique way to solve different puzzles or learn about different characters' motivations.
okay.
But when we got to the end of the first session and I introduced this twist, my 2 friends were really unenthusiastic about it. I was kind of hurt by their disinterested attitudes, so I decided to be upfront with them and tell them this. They say I should have told them about the human world aspect of the campaign, as they feel like their characters don't work with the idea of a human world. They've given me an ultimatum. Either ditch the human world stuff or have them all make new characters. And I feel like their current characters would work just fine if they were just a little more open-minded about this concept. So am I the arsehole for not telling them about the plot twist before the campaign started?
Yeah, this is another tough one.
This is another really
This is
tough
really
one,
another
isn't
tough
it?
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I understand. I mean, it's tough, innit? Because if it's a high fantasy and you make a high fantasy character,
Yeah.
and then it turns out that it's not really high fantasy,
and
it is tough because, like, I always give my players a really in-depth description of what the world is like, so when they
Exactly.
make their characters, the theme is right.
I mean, one of the first advice we ever give if you're holding a session 0, you can find the video
Session 0.
up here, is give your players a world primer so they can build their characters around your world.
Yeah.
And if they've done this, which they have,
Yeah.
and then the world isn't what it seems.
I get it, but also, of course, you don't want to just give up your
whole...
You don't want to give up. The whole point is you're there to experience something that the DM has planned for you.
Yeah.
If your DM's just like, oh, by the way, yeah, we're going to have this mechanic where we switch between the worlds, you're going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to find that out in game.
Mm.
Like, I wouldn't give that to my players. Like, I didn't tell you that, you were going to be going in and out of Vanaheim.
No, I know, but Vanaheim is still the same world. If it was like, oh, we're going to switch in between a high fantasy setting and then a high school setting.
Yeah, true. I know it's in the same world, but I think there has to be an element of trust. If your DM then says, no, trust me, your players, your characters that you've created are going to fit this totally fine.
Yeah.
I think at that point you need to go, okay. Like, if you say so, you're the one that understands what the plot. We don't know the plot to the extent you do.
I'm in 2 minds about that.
I think there needs to be a bit of give and take.
Yes.
I think there's problems on both ends of the spectrum.
So I think I disagree a little bit with that, because as a player, I like my own brand of D&D, right? I like certain things. I've played in campaigns where it's been a different setting entirely, and I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Purely because of the setting.
Mm-hmm.
If I had built out my character, for example, Reyla, my moon druid. If I had built out Reyla And the way I've built her is she doesn't use a lot of magic. And when she does use magic, it's like you said, she has to get the components out of her bag and she has to use them.
Mm-hmm.
And she uses her staff to grant her power if she uses them.
Mm-hmm.
If then we had moved into a now normal, like a cyberpunk-esque world, for example, I wouldn't want to play that character in that world because I agree. I had built her specifically for something. And not everyone is like that, but it sounds like these players are.
So, do you think? I think this is what I think is. I don't think these players are enthusiastic about the idea of the campaign. Is the point? I don't think it's about the theme. I don't think it's about the my character doesn't fit.
Yeah.
I think it's they just don't sound that fussed. The person even said, they don't seem very enthusiastic.
They say they don't seem very enthusiastic about the twist.
Exactly. I don't think they care for the twist, not the setting.
I think it's the setting. I think that they've heard the setting.
But the twist, I guess the twist is the setting.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. I think, you know what? Yeah, no, I agree. I think maybe they're not. It sounds like they're not fully on board with the idea that there's like a...
I don't think the character creation's the problem. I think they just don't like the idea.
The idea that there's like a switch between. But you know, the fact that they're saying like, could we just make new characters? There is a fine line here, isn't there? Because does it all come down to trust in the DM ultimately?
I think the thing is, I think they need to trust the DM a little bit because the DM's saying, no, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think the characters would fit.
And they're saying, nah. But you don't know that because how do you know that?
But at the same time, is it the DM's call to be like, no, your characters will be fine in this world when the player has heard what they've heard and is like, I just don't want to play the character.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it's session 1.
I know.
If you went into the game... But the thing is, it's session 1. You can change whatever you want about your character. There's
nothing really
apart
tying
from your
the
class,
character. Yeah,
and unless you pick like something that needs a subclass at level 1.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Because your personality isn't really set in stone because it's session 1.
Yeah.
You can change that in the next session.
Yeah.
Your character traits can change. Anything about your character at that moment isn't set in stone. It's session 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much you can say is like. Unless it's the class or the race, they can change.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I don't know. Again, they just said their characters. Like, you know, if you've built out a paladin who plays with a sword and a shield, and then suddenly you've come into this modern world where, you know, a paladin catered purely for a fantasy setting probably would feel weird to play.
Yeah, but tell me a class in D&D that isn't going to feel weird to play in the modern world.
Exactly.
So like, what are you going to change that's going to make it so different?
Yeah, I think that there is, you know, like a blood hunter. You can aim a blood hunter to be more traditional.
It's still going to have like a bow.
Oh, yeah.
Which is still going to be weird in this
you know
modern
what?
age.
I was going to actually use ranger as an example, but then I was like, people still use bows nowadays.
But the thing is, like, if somebody walked down the street with a bow and arrow, I'm going to be like, what the fuck's going on?
What's happening here?
If a paladin walks down in the street in massive plate-heavy armor with a sword and shield, I'm going to turn and run the other way. So anything that you play in a modern-day setting is going to be weird.
Yeah.
So, like, what is it you want to change?
So maybe that's why they don't like the idea of the actual twist.
Don't say that you want to change your character. Just say you don't like it. I think that they're saying it's one thing, they just don't like the idea.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like this is something that the DM should have maybe said in session 0. In my personal opinion, I think something as big as that is to completely change the actual setting.
Yeah.
Like, because they haven't...
Potentially.
They haven't been up front in the beginning being like, they've been like, it's a high fantasy setting.
Yeah.
And then everyone got excited for that. I understand how that would take the wind out of your sails.
I think that would take the wind out of your sails.
It definitely would, yeah.
I think that would take the wind out of the sails of anybody at my table.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That I think maybe you should have said it at session 0. But the thing is, I think they just don't like the idea.
Yeah, and I think it is mean for them to give you an ultimatum to be like, you have to ditch the human stuff or let us change our characters.
I agree.
Like, does it come down to like a lack of trust in the DM?
I think so.
Because I would not be happy about it, but I would trust you. If you told me your character would be fine, I would trust you in that.
Yeah.
But that's because I trust you.
I think
as
it's
my
because
DM.
you trust me because I've DM'd for you for a long time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and this is the person's first time DMing.
Yeah, I think they either need to take the plunge and just trust the DM.
Yep.
Or be honest with their feelings, which is they just don't like the setting.
I'm not interested.
I'm not interested in the setting, which is also fine.
Yeah.
Which is also fine. You're allowed to not like the setting.
Yeah, and I think that now is the time to say it, right?
Yeah. Oh, right now. Right now is the time to say it.
Yeah.
Session 1, been and done.
Yeah, I think this is a really hard one. I don't think anyone's the asshole here.
No.
Like, no one is an asshole.
I think the ultimatum bit is a bit.
The ultimatum bit is a bit harsh.
That's being a little bit asshole.
Yeah, I think like surely the middle ground here is give it like 5 or 6 sessions. Give it a few sessions. And
give it a go.
Yeah.
Trust the DM and say they think they like because you don't even understand how. They said that they want it to be like a problem-solving mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, you need to either trust them wholeheartedly and just give it a go for a handful of sessions, and if you still feel the same way, then it's the time to be like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Or say it now.
Yeah.
Right
yeah,
now.
and I think, allow the DM to prove to you that your characters are fine, and then maybe it's going to go one of two ways. You're going to be like, oh yeah, it's fine, or you're going to be like, no, I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
And I think that's probably the best way to do it. I wish there was an update to this.
Yeah.
I wish that there was what happened next.
Yeah.
But I don't know, if OP you happen to be watching, which I sincerely doubt you are.
The chances are slim, but...
And you know what? I understand being hurt by it as well. I understand having an idea and being really enthusiastic and it just not going down.
Like, to have that plot twist and to have that, like, big moment reveal and for it to fall flat is devastating.
Yeah.
It is, like, but it's so weird because there's so many times in campaigns where, because you know all of the information all of the time, there's times where like I'll say something in our campaigns and you guys will be like, oh, and I'm like, oh god, yeah, they don't know that. And like those maybe even like small moments are big.
Yeah.
And then sometimes those big moments aren't quite as big.
Yeah.
So, you just gotta take it as it comes.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think anyone's the asshole here.
No, I agree.
I think it should have been said up front, but I think your players owe it to you to
give you just
give it a little bit
of
a try.
Of sessions.
And hey, if they try it and they don't like it, you owe it to them to let them change their characters.
Yeah, I agree.
Give and take.
Give and take.
Give and take.
Bit of both.
Hey, on to number 5.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, how quiet should one be during combat? I had a fellow PC attempt to fireball most of the party. It always comes down to fireball.
It's always
party,
fireball.
Doesn't it? It's always fireball in the party. I honestly don't think he was paying attention during other people's turns. We play online through Roll20, so everything is on the map. He started his turn by saying this encounter is taking too long and he's using too many spells before we got to the boss. He follows that up by saying he'll just cast Fireball, we're 5th level, and he tagged a spot that would hit all 4 giant wolves we were fighting. It would also have hit our druid turned bear, me, and one of our rogues. I don't know why I said me so strange. Me. It also would have hit our druid. And not
Druid
to mention, one of the wolves was under my spell and fighting on our side.
Cool, okay.
I absolutely bring that up, and he said he didn't realize that the druid/bear was one of us and that one of the wolf was on our side as well. He got a little mad as he said I wasn't the only one pointing out his error. So he moved his character to this side and he said he'll cast a Cone of Cold spell. I told him he'd only hit 2 of the wolves and one of them is mind controlled and not a big issue. He gets really pissy and says, fine, I'll just do nothing on my turn since I can't do anything. I was upset at the childish take my ball and go home behavior, so I said, why don't you cast a cantrip that doesn't run the risk of harming your party? He did. Then he did the same thing in every turn after proclaiming, fine, I'll cast this firebolt since it's the only thing I'm allowed to do. He had a bad attitude for the rest of the game and kind of just soured the rest of the game. Am I the arsehole for pointing out the state of the game? Should I have just stopped arguing and let him make bad decisions?
No, because that player should have been listening.
Yeah, if it all boils down to the player just wasn't paying attention, there is nothing wrong with telling your
Also to come in and be like, this combat's taking too long.
Yeah.
First
I
of all,
know.
rude.
Rude. I was gonna say rude.
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 Pretty
to
rude.
say that. Yeah.
Especially when you're not even listening.
Yeah.
The whole point. It's a dungeon crawl. That's how dungeon crawls work.
Yeah.
You are gonna have to expend something earlier.
Yeah.
Like that's how balance works.
Yeah.
It's like, I learn't that very heavily in my first campaign. Joshua's a Vengeance Paladin.
Yeah.
If I just thrown a boss at you, it'd just been like, Vow of Equanimity, smite.
Yeah.
Thing's dead.
Yeah.
So, you have to.
You
gotta find a way.
You have to drain resources.
You gotta drain
somehow.
resources somewhere.
Yeah,
because it's unbelievable how powerful your party is at the beginning of a dungeon.
Of course.
Or to the end of a dungeon.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like that needs to happen. So
Yeah.
for you to just it's taking too long.
And the thing is to be like,
unfair on your DM.
I'm using too many spells. It's like, well, using another spell isn't going to solve that problem, is
you
it?
literally just said that you wanted to cast a 5th level fireball.
And then you're like, I'll use a Cone of Cold.
Doesn't even matter what level you are. 5th level fireball is a high spell.
Yeah.
And Cone of Cold.
Although I don't know if they're saying that like the players are 5th level, so it's just like a normal. But that doesn't matter.
Then that is an extremely high resource to be spending.
Huge high resource to be
resource.
using. If you're level 5, you only have what, two second levels, third levels.
Cone of Cold's 5th level, though, isn't it?
I am not certain. So maybe you're right. Maybe they're casting like a 5th level fireball. But
Sounds
even
like that.
then, that's still a big
It doesn't
resource
matter
to
what
be
level
using.
you are. Fifth level is a high level spell
Yeah,
slot.
and
5th level, yeah.
You know what? I truly hate. I hate the attitude of, oh well, I just won't do anything then. It's like, stop being
also,
such a baby.
Like, your friend has mind controlled a wolf to make the combat easier on you, so you don't need to make as many spells.
Yeah.
But then you're whinging that they've mind controlled it, and then not listening, and then trying to hit that mind controlled wolf.
I know, and then hit the
which makes the combat harder for you.
I know, and again, I feel like people have such different opinions on this because people, it's a huge discussion about what is okay to say outside of game, in game. Do you know what I mean? Like how much metagaming is okay. We come back to it again. But I don't think there's anything wrong with telling someone, especially if they weren't paying attention, but we don't know that for a fact. Telling your player, telling your party member, if you do this, you're going to hurt us as well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
I don't
saying
think there's anything
that.
wrong with that. And also, if this person, clearly this person wasn't paying attention because they didn't realise that the wolf was mind controlled.
Yeah,
so
but
there has to be an aspect of not paying attention.
True.
There.
At the same time, though, listen, at the end of our last campaign, we had animals everywhere.
True.
And, it got really hard to track. So if there's 4 giant wolves, one of them's mind controlled, one of them's the druid. Like, I understand how it could get hard.
Yeah, I can
keep track
understand.
of that.
And also, to be fair, I don't play online and never have.
Yeah.
So to be sat at my computer because I have another screen.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably get distracted because I would love to try and pay attention to the whole thing.
If you're playing online.
Yeah.
It
is different playing at the table with all of your friends.
Of
here,
course it is.
Like,
of course
in
it is.
person.
Yeah, of course.
It's so different to playing online.
Yeah. And it's a turn-based game.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. However, regardless of any of that, the attitude afterwards, OP said it perfectly, it's just childish behavior.
Yeah.
To be like, I'll just do this because it's the only thing I'm allowed to do.
No one said that.
Grow up.
No one said that. No one said that you're not allowed to do it.
I know. Grow up. That is such a terrible, toxic attitude to have.
Yeah, and, you shouldn't be fireballing all your mates.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
Like,
contrary to popular belief.
That's not a good way to handle the situation.
Yeah.
Casting a different spell, because clearly you are a 5th level spellcaster at least. You're going to have a lot of spells.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if you're a warlock.
Why is everyone like, we have to fireball?
We have to fireball. There's
them.
literally... There's no other tactics here.
It's fireball.
I love strategy.
But it's fireball.
Like,
why does it always come to this?
Because thing is, upcasting fireball isn't even a particularly powerful way of casting fireball. Fireball is a great 3rd level spell. Fantastic.
Right.
But scaling up 1d6 per level isn't that great.
Yeah. But I mean, isn't it like 66?
It's 8d6, and then it's a d6 per level above.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, to be fair, that is a lot of damage. Especially if you roll well. And if you crit. That's a lot of damage.
You can't crit.
Okay. Is it a save?
Yeah. Dex save from everyone.
Yeah.
But
you can tell I've never played a class as fireball. I've never played an intelligence class ever, and I never will.
8d6 and then 1d6 per spell level above. So
yeah.
The thing is, I don't think it's a different conversation, but I don't think fireball scales very well. But and the thing is, the person was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about the mind control. Use your Cone of Cold."
Yeah.
And then for them to be like, "Oh,
well, actually, I'll just do nothing because I can't do anything." Come on.
That's pathetic, man.
That is, I
so
pathetic.
pathetic.
I absolutely hate that
I hate
behavior.
that mentality.
I'll
Like,
just never do anything ever again then.
You're in combat together. You're a party.
Come on.
Play together.
Pathetic.
And also have some manners and listen.
Yeah, just
listen.
Keep track of it, at least keep track of who's on your side.
Like, you would be devastated if it came to your turn and everyone just got up and left.
Yeah, of course you would.
Because then also you would have to explain to everyone what had just happened.
Yeah, and I think there is an element of this,
You'd have
an
to
element
explain
of
that you've just killed everyone with a fireball.
Yeah, and there's an element of this of OP being like, well, we had to go over the tactics again. I again, that's me assuming, but no,
I like in my game, I like a fast-paced combat.
You do.
Like,
yeah,
we like to. We don't have like a timer or anything like that. But
No.
when it comes to someone's go, it's like, okay, you've got action bonus, action movement. What you
yeah,
do?
and you know what? There is an element sometimes where if we're not sure what to do, we'll just ask. For example, there was the perfect example of this. Last night we were in. I was in Wolf Farm and I got picked up by a big rock.
Because why?
Because
Why were you in Wolf Farm?
what do you mean?
Why were you in Wolf Farm?
Oh, listen, this might be a shock to people. Are they ready for this information?
I don't think so.
Guys, I'm a moon druid.
It's 5.
I'm a moon druid.
That's 5.
So
The tally's at 5 people.
when you're a moon druid, you get to
6.
be in wolf form in a combat because that's just a moon druid thing.
7.
So I was getting carried away by a big rock,
Yes,
right?
you were.
And there was loads of things I wanted to try on my go that we talked through, and it wouldn't necessarily work because I just didn't take something into account. Josh was like, if you can't do that, don't worry because I've got you. And then he was like, but don't let that change your decision. He was like, because your character wouldn't know that. But I was like, I trust you. If you say you've got me, then fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do what I want to do instead of trying to do all these things. And I did. And I think a lot of people would have classed that as metagaming because it was.
Because it is.
Because outside of game, Josh said, I've got you. And I was like, okay, my character's just going to do whatever then.
Yeah. Like, in high stakes combat, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, but this, and oh yeah, but then with that, and then it all boils down to, it all comes down to, you just got to stop your player and just say, okay, with all of that taken into account, what does your character want to do?
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than making the wrong decision in a high stakes combat.
But at the same time, it's like your character wants to do something.
Yeah.
Your character, are they aggressive? Are they an aggressive character? Are they a protector?
Yeah.
Are they, you need to think about your character. What do they do in that moment?
Like in that moment, my character wouldn't have tried all of the stuff that I wanted to try. I was just saying it to try and get myself out of a situation.
Yeah.
My character would have just gate rolled and just attacked the thing.
Which is what
she did. Josh gave me the reassurance that you're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I trusted him.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sorry, that got a bit off topic there.
But I do think it comes down to, if you're playing a game of D&D, just pay attention during combat.
Totally.
Because there's nothing that slows down combat more than everyone's go happening, and then it coming to your go, and then everyone having to explain all of that again to you. That is just so unfair on everybody else.
Agreed. So no, OP, you are not the asshole.
This is my absolute fucking pet peeve.
What? People not paying attention?
People not paying attention in combat. Well, paying attention to the entire game, but especially in combat.
Yeah,
because I like it to be fast. The whole point of combat is it's like happening.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has ever.
Oh no, but
if that would really upset you, yeah,
piss me off.
I totally
so
get that.
Much.
I totally get that.
So no, you are not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You know what? If the other player hadn't been such an asshole with their behavior, I probably would have said no one's the asshole here. That was just a breakdown in communication. However, because of them acting absolutely like a big baby.
Yeah. That's baby behavior.
That's baby behavior.
Big baby
man.
behavior.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, this is number 7.
Number 7.
So
I'm looking at Fireball.
Oh,
I guess Fireball in the group.
I guess Fireball is the only option we have.
The only option. I've got no other choice.
Is this number 7 or is this number 5?
It's number 6. It was neither of those options.
Terribly sorry. Number 7. No.
6. Number 6.
So, would I be the asshole if I told a veteran Dungeons and Dragons player I play with that he should watch his mouth? I am a player in a low to mid-skill D&D game, 5e campaign, that has been going on for a little over a year. We have a party Discord where we discuss the game. The issue regards one player that clearly knows a lot about the game, who we will refer to as Greg. We have heard of Greg as well, and Greg was an asshole.
Yes. I think I remember Greg.
Mm-hmm. Greg was an asshole.
Greg was a mighty asshole.
Yep. He's really good and he takes the campaign very seriously. Greg comes up with plans for how to solve problems, plays a vital role in combat, and thinks himself as the leader of the party. Greg throws his weight around in the chat, forcing his way through with very long Discord messages, correcting players with game knowledge, and being blunt about what he says. The tipping point for me is using strike-throughs in his messages to say it but not mean it. It's gotten to a stage where it feels like he uses strike-throughs to openly say how wrong we in planning are on our game knowledge is, without overtly saying we are stupid.
What's a strike-through?
So a strike-through is like a strike-through text. So for example, they'll be like, oh, you're so annoying. And they'll be like, I love you. And then they would strike out the you're so annoying and be like, I love you. Like it's like a joke.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
I'll be like, that's a really bad decision. And then be like, yeah, go ahead and make it though. And then they'll scratch out that's a really bad decision.
So you can see it, but it's
exactly like OP says. It's really, in this context, it's very passive aggressive.
I was going to say, it sounds very passive aggressive.
Very passive aggressive. So, for example, player, I think option A is the best option for the plan next session. Greg, option A neglects, and then inserts a paragraph on all possible repercussions of an option A. I think option C is better because, and then inserts a paragraph of all the positive results of option C. Player, option A feels like the most fun though. Greg, having fun? We are supposed to be the heroes, not adrenaline junkies. Greg, am I the only one who actually thinks around here? Greg is important to the party due to how much he knows about the game, although sometimes edging on the line of metagaming. Greg comes up with detailed plans that work really well. He's a veteran and I respect him. However, I don't think he should talk down to inexperienced players in our group. I'm worried that I might be taking what Greg says in the wrong way. He might just be trying his best at being helpful, and being blunt is just who he normally is. No one in the group has spoken out about Greg's behaviour. If I say anything, it might make me look like a buzzkill that's ruining everyone else's fun. I am not sure if anyone else in the group feels the same way I do, or if I am taking what he says in a negative manner. After dealing with this without saying anything for a year, I think it made me lose my perspective. Here is the gist of what I want to reply the next time Greg does something like this. Messaging slang is different for everyone, and I might be interpreting what you said in the wrong way. Knowing a lot about the game is really amazing and really useful. But I've said some really bad things in the past that I'm still dealing with, so here's what I have learned from that. It's important to learn to restrain yourself when you talk or send a message, because it might be better to say nothing at all. I really enjoy playing with other people in my group. I value their friendship and shared stories. It would really suck if I had to leave the party if I start a big fight like this. Would I be the asshole if I said a message along these lines?
Okay.
There's a lot here.
There's a lot here. I don't know if that message is good enough to send.
What do you mean?
That message that they said that they wanted to send back to Greg.
Yeah.
I think you need to be more clear than that.
I agree. I think
that also sounds quite passive-aggressive.
Yeah, I think that leaves a lot of read between the lines. And the problem is when you leave that option to speculate, people are going to speculate.
Especially if it's like, it might not be... It is confrontational.
Yeah.
Like, the message is intended to be confrontational.
Yeah.
So when you're being confrontational...
You have to be
really clear and...
to not leave any space for...
Because the person who is getting the confrontational message is immediately on the defense.
Yeah.
And then if there is room for interpretation, they will just interpret it completely wrong.
It's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Greg needs to be dealt with in some way.
Oh, Greg needs to be dealt with.
There needs dealt with. There needs to be a conversation had with Greg. Definitely.
I 100% agree, but that message is not the way to do it.
Yeah, I think... And you know what? I understand, OP. It's really, really hard to have these conversations. We say it every time. It's really hard to have these conversations.
The fact that you want to have a conversation and just get it dealt with is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Definitely.
That is the way it should happen.
Again, leaving it so vague.
So vague and open-ended.
That's going to be like opening the floodgates.
Yeah.
Basically.
That will cause an argument.
Yeah.
That's what that will do.
100%. And you know what, Greg, I understand that you see Greg as like the veteran player and he's invaluable to the group. I understand that. However, regardless of how, experienced they are or anything, you still can't talk to other people like that. To be like, am I the only one who thinks around here? That's just rude.
That's very rude.
That's simply just rude, especially when the other players but it would be more fun to do this.
And that's the reason you play. I don't care what Greg says.
Yeah.
You play to have fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's the more chaotic option. It doesn't matter if it's the stupid option.
Yeah, you do.
Like, do what you want to do.
It's a game.
It's a game.
Yeah.
If
And
you want to have fun,
the attitude of having fun, we're supposed to be the hero, not adrenaline junkies. I feel like that's projecting.
That's literally the point of the game. Greg.
Why do you play games?
Why do you play games?
What, to win?
To win, because you're playing the wrong game.
Yeah, definitely.
Because D&D isn't the game for you if you just want to win.
If you just want to win all the time.
There is an aspect of losing.
There probably is some tables where, that'll be fine, but it doesn't sound like the other players are on the same page as you.
Yeah.
And yes, I understand. Greg might just be blunt. However, being blunt doesn't give you a pass just to be rude to people.
And also, I don't like the excuse of, that's just who I am, I'm just blunt.
If you don't like it, then lump it.
It's like, no, we're all, on this world together.
Mm-hmm.
Let's, treat each other with a bit of respect.
Just respect people, man.
Because being blunt and just saying what you think because, that's just who you are.
Because I'm just this raw person.
I'm just this raw person, and if you don't like it, you can get out of here.
Well, that's simply not
that's
how
just
the world
not how
works.
the world works, man.
You simply...
You
have to consider other people's feelings. There's mitigating circumstances to everything.
I guarantee if Greg's feelings weren't considered, I don't think that Greg would particularly have I feel like Greg may have a problem with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
I don't like that attitude of being like, I'm just blunt, that's just who I am.
It's just who I am.
Well, don't be like that.
Too bad.
Because that's not fair on everyone else.
Not everyone is like that. And if you can't see past the fact that not everyone thinks the same way you think, then listen. You need to address that because that's not healthy.
That's a problem.
That's not a normal way to live in normal life or in D&D.
And also, like you said, I agree. Just because someone is a veteran player doesn't mean that their opinion is more valuable than
anyone
yours.
else's. Exactly.
Like, it's true. It's so true that sometimes learning more about D&D can actually... You can put yourself into little boxes in D&D.
Yeah.
You can be like... Oh, I know that this enemy has this, and I know that this place in the world has this because that's what it is, like canon D&D.
Yeah.
But your DM might not play like that. Yeah. So, like, sometimes you box yourself in.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I think when you mix the two, when you have a new set of players and an experienced player, the DM needs to take care and go to that experienced player and say, look,
everyone is still learning.
Take care of them because they will need, help.
Support them.
With their character sheet.
Yeah.
And, how the mechanics just generally work. Yeah. But let them experience D&D.
Yeah. Like, don't be overbearing.
I want them to as the DM.
Definitely. And it sounds like OP is unsure if everyone else feels the same. So I don't think putting a message like that in the group chat when Greg says something is going to go down well.
I agree. And I also don't think going around to everyone else and being like, do you feel this way?
Like this? I think you just need to have a one-on-one. Is this person the DM?
No, I don't think so.
No, yes, sorry, no, they're not. They are a player.
I think you just need to talk to Greg and say sometimes...
you need to have a one-on-one conversation with Greg or go to your DM and have a conversation with your DM, and then you can get together in a safe place with your DM as like the mediator.
And just be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. Be honest about how you feel.
The vague message isn't going to do anyone any good.
Definitely.
Just be honest and just say, sometimes the way you speak and sometimes the way you, like, just not shit on everyone else's plans because your plan is the only one because you're the only one with experience.
It's hurtful to me.
Yeah, it makes me feel like we can't do anything that you don't want us to do.
Yeah.
Is that the way that you're intending it to come across?
Exactly. This is what you've said.
Yeah.
This is what I've heard.
Yeah.
There's something in the middle here.
Yeah. Like, can you explain to me
what you meant by that?
Yeah.
Because I'm interpreting it what I think is wrong. And there's,
And then if Greg just goes, that's just the way I am and you just got to deal with it.
Then you know your answer, don't you?
Then, yeah.
But there's a chance that Greg will be like, no, I really didn't mean it.
That's what you would hope.
Approaching the conversation in that way, asking the question, will hopefully just open up more conversations. Yeah. I don't know if we're giving Greg a little bit too much leeway here because if it were me in this situation and Greg was doing this, I think I would I don't think I would have dealt with it like this. I think I would have immediately.
Mm.
But you're probably a better
like,
person than me, okay?
The thing is, it's like, we can give out this advice all day long.
Oh,
we can say the absolute, because we're sat at this table, in a
and not in your situation,
comfortable space, not dealing with
exactly,
all of this stuff.
Exactly.
So, it is very natural to have those negative feelings and want to say something.
Definitely.
And, we're just sat here trying to give you the best best advice. But
to the person on the Reddit who's never going to watch this.
But somebody else might be
you might be in a similar
situation.
Exactly. And you know what? Last thing I want to say about this is, if you have a player who is constantly poo-pooing all the ideas, right? You are all working together with plans, and this one player is constantly being like, yeah, but what if this goes wrong? Yeah, but what if that happens? Yeah, but this, yeah, but that. That is so frustrating.
It's horrendous to deal with.
It's so incredibly frustrating to feel like your ideas are constantly being poo-pooed.
Yeah.
And then the problem is, it's when there isn't a resolution after that as well. They're just going, yeah, but what if this goes wrong?
It just sounds like Greg's like, no, we should do this instead.
Yeah.
And offering a solution. At least they're like, nah, that's a rubbish idea. We're not doing that. Yeah, so, and then not offering a solution. Yeah. Because that's the worst.
So just know you're not in the wrong for being frustrated by that, because that is a very normal thing to be frustrated.
Yeah.
So, no, you are not the asshole.
No.
And to be fair, if you sent a message like that, I still don't think you would be the asshole.
No.
I do think
I
Greg is the asshole here. However, if you're going to have a conversation, you're going to open that line of communication, you need to be honest.
You need to be more clear than that.
And you don't need to implicate everyone. You can just say, this is how I'm feeling. Because that's the most important thing. It's how you're feeling.
And, it doesn't matter if it's everyone or one person. Like, Greg should respect that, whether it's everyone or one person.
Yeah, totally.
So.
Totally. Okay.
On
to
number...
Is this number... This is number 7.
This is number 7. You were like, is it number 7 or number 5? Well, actually, Margaret, it's number 6.
Number 6, yeah. So this is number 7. Number 7?
Yeah.
This is number 7.
Did I try to psych you out now?
Yeah, I nearly said 6. This is going to be a long episode, guys. Again, we are just churning out the long episodes. Hope you're fine with it.
It is what it is.
I will put up another poll at some point to make sure that everyone's still okay. So, am I the asshole for not letting my player use a character with an offensive name? So, I've been trying to set up a game on Roll20 for a while, since my usual players have all been too busy to meet up for a while now. It took forever, but I found a group of 4 people looking for a DM and I jumped on it. Everything was going fine and we seemed to be hitting it off pretty well. That's until I looked at one of their proposed character sheets. He was a lawful good half-orc paladin in service to the goddess of love and beauty. Nothing wrong there. Then there was the name. Sex Crimes Johnson. I flat out told him no.
Good!
He even had a lengthy backstory for it, where an evil fae had tricked him and stolen his name, placing it with something that would shame him and make him unable to lie about it. I told him I liked the idea and was okay if he could change it to something like thief, or hell, even murderer. Just not sex crimes. Long story short, he refuses. He says I'm stifling player creativity and that he and the rest of the party will leave the game and block me. Oh no! And then he and the rest of the players leave the game and block me. Was I being too uptight? Am I the asshole here? No.
Absolutely not. That is not stifling anything.
You are stifling my right.
You're censoring me.
You're censoring me.
You're censoring what I'm allowed to say.
These snowflakes are censoring me.
The snowflakes are censoring me. Have you ever heard of freedom of speech?
What, you think sex crimes don't happen in real life? They should happen in D&D. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
What if this person had been the victim of a sex crime?
I know, come on.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
Just call yourself literally anything else.
Yeah, literally.
No, don't say that, because they'll just call themselves something even worse.
I know, yeah, like cock and balls Johnson or something
or
like that.
Or it'll be like the R word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it'd be, to keep on topic of the sex crimes.
Yeah, like...
Or they call themselves SA.
Why do you have to? Why does it always come to this? Why do we always come here? What the fuck's wrong with people?
People just don't want censoring, Margaret. Don't censor them.
Sorry.
You shouldn't.
No.
Let them say what they want.
And then to be like, oh no, some face stole his name. Which, you know what? Cool idea. That's very Chihiro inspirited away.
Be the paladin of the goddess of love and whatever it is that you were, and have a fake creature have stolen your name and try and get it back. That's fine. Just don't call yourself that. Stifling creation would be saying, I want to change.
You can't have that.
Can't have that backstory. I want to change this. Let's change that. It's like, no, they were more than happy if you had the backstory. You just can't have that name.
An obviously open offensive name.
Literally,
Come
yeah.
on. And then the fact that the rest of the players all left and block you. Hey, you know what? I think you dodged a bullet here.
I think you dodged a massive bullet.
I think you have dodged a bullet.
I think you dodged a huge bullet. I think you did yourself probably a good thing by just saying it and then them having them block you.
First of all, by saying no, well done.
Yeah.
I think, I think some people would have struggled to do that. Just to up front, just say no.
Yeah.
However, everyone, we have to follow an OP's footsteps here.
Yeah.
And we have to. If there's anything like that, anything that makes you uncomfortable, anything obviously openly offensive, you need to just say no.
Just say no
You
immediately.
just need to say no.
Good job.
And the fact that all the players were willing to block you and leave,
They're not the kind of players you want to play with.
dude, you would have been in for an awful,
That would have been
awful time.
Horrendous time.
Hideous time.
Oh, God.
So, obviously, no, you are not the
No,
asshole
not
here.
at all.
That person, I hope they have a good hard look in the mirror. And
They're not going to do that.
No, but they need to.
They need to.
They need to.
They're
Get a
not
grip.
gonna do that.
Get a grip.
Yes, get a grip.
Okay.
Nice, short and sweet.
Yes. Yeah.
Get out of here.
I feel like that is very, very much case solved.
6.
Yeah. Come on. Get a grip.
Fucking Jesus.
Get a grip. Okay. On to number 8. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So, as if we haven't just had to stop because the dog's crying and then we double checked.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, I'm calling myself out.
Don't tell the squad blasters.
I'm calling myself out.
that we cut.
Oh,
There's no
yeah.
cuts. This is seamless.
Yeah, you
What are
can.
you talking
can't.
about?
You can't tell. The cuts.
Did everyone? Oh, by the way, did everyone like that Margaret said squad blasters in the last episode?
No, I said squad blasters because I was standing and I was rallying with my community. It will never happen again. Terribly sorry.
I don't believe that.
Just how it is.
I don't believe that.
Just how the cookie crumbles.
Can't wait if somebody sends in, am I the asshole? I watch this podcast and she won't say squad blasters, and it's really fucking pissing me off.
Yeah, well, too bad. You're the asshole.
No, we are not. Do not believe that for a second.
So, am I the asshole for trying to spice up our combat? So I'm fairly new to D&D, but my table has been playing bi-weekly for several months now. I love our DM as a person. He's a great guy, but he's new to DMing. So I've noticed that our combat sequences are kind of stale, and a session ago, I decided to try and make it more engaging and exciting. I'm a low-level wood elf arcane trickster, so my combat type is typically melee. So, in order to spice it up, I began to improvise, or narrate, my attack sequence to be more dynamic and exciting. I would say, I see the giant orc is focused on the barbarian, so I run, slide between his legs, jump off the wall in front of him, and stab him in the chest. Mind you, I am...
Fucking love that. Live for that.
Mind you, I am not requesting advantage or anything like that. It's just I would prefer to make it more cinematic and exciting. But then my DM says, well, roll to hit and then roll an acrobatics and athletics check. And even though I have a high modifier, I still rolled low. I still rolled low? What did I just say there? I still rolled low on acrobatics and athletics. I rolled enough to hit, but because my acrobatics and athletics were low, he said that I was able to slide through the legs, but I hit the wall and fell down the nearby stairs, so I couldn't even get a hit even though I rolled high enough. I just felt it was unfair to penalize a player for trying to make the combat more exciting while only seeking to get a normal hit. It happened twice in a row, and I got salty, so after that, I was like, I walk up to the giant orc and stab him using sneak attack. I gave up on trying to make it more exciting because apparently making it exciting involves a bunch of extra skill checks. Is this a warranted frustration? More and more, I feel like I'm being penalized for trying to think outside of the box and be creative. Am I the asshole?
No.
I think there is once again...
There is a caveat, yes.
Oh,
the end about how I walk up and I start... Look, come play at my table. Because that shit is encouraged.
Oh, yeah,
like,
we love
when
to
you cast a
describe
spell, you need to tell me what it looks like.
Mm.
When you attack, I want to hear, like, if it's your bite attack, like, it pierces onto the arm and the blood, like, squirts out onto your face and stuff like that. We love that. We live for it. We literally live and breathe.
We do.
If you just ran up and said that you wanted to slide between the legs, jump off the wall and stab somebody in the chest, I'd be like, yeah, just roll a hit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think all you need to do is go to your DM and say, By the way, those things, they were just flavor.
They're just flavor.
I'm not doing it for any other reason than walking up and stabbing them, but I just like to make it cool.
I think this whole situation, I know this whole situation would be resolved by just saying, by the way, I don't want anything extra.
No.
Like, don't feel like you have to, because I'm not asking it. I'm just describing what I do.
Yeah, instead of it's just being like, I walk 30 feet and stab him in the chest.
Yeah.
Is the exact same as I walk up, I slide through his legs, jump off the wall, and stab him in the chest. That's the exact same. You don't need to do anything else, but you need to just say that to your DM. You need to make that
clear. And I understand why your DM, especially if he's new, I understand why he would think you're asking for extra things and is trying to accommodate that.
Yeah, there's just a bit of miscommunication there between what you want and what your DM thinks you're trying to.
Yeah.
Because if your DM's like, oh, if you're trying to do it to get advantage or something like that, then there might be a skill check required.
Yeah.
I understand that, but
I think to then get salty and then to shut down and be like, well, I just do this. That's the wrong attitude.
That's the wrong attitude to have.
Yeah, that's the wrong attitude.
I understand that trying it twice in a row, them not understanding, but that's because you haven't communicated
That's
it
because
properly.
there isn't a communication there. I think you just, honestly, just tell your DM
Tell your DM that.
Literally just tell your DM that.
There's nothing wrong with going to your DM and just being like I like more energetic combats.
Yeah.
Is there something that we can do there?
Yeah.
Like, telling your DM something that you want from the game isn't a sin.
No, of course not.
And if your DM isn't comfortable and still doesn't want to do it, that's also fine, because that's not what they want from the game. But if you want something, just communicate that to your DM.
Yeah, and there's ways to go about it that isn't like, oh, can we just spice combat more up? It could be something as simple as the DM did something that you thought was exciting and you go, oh my God, that was amazing.
That was awesome.
I loved that. Like,
I
please
love
do more of that. That was
flavor.
really cool.
Yeah, because, it is tough when, you're putting yourself out there as a DM and you don't, there is like an element of being like embarrassed if you say something that's not cool and stuff like that. Especially if you're a first-time DM.
Yep.
So if you communicate that you like something to your DM, that gives them the confidence to want to do it again.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the whole I got salty and then I just grow up. But
I understand. I understand wanting something from a game and not getting it, and then when you try to do it, being sort of actually penalized for that.
Yeah.
I get it, but
I do understand.
The problem is
I understand.
You didn't communicate.
Exactly. Seriously, one conversation. That's all it will.
It will take 5 minutes.
Yeah. So no, I don't think you're the asshole.
don't.
But I think drop that attitude.
Yeah, drop that attitude.
Drop the
that's
attitude.
not good. That's not good for anyone.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so we are on to
we're on the last one.
We're on the last one. We blitzed through those last few ones. I feel like those last couple ones were like, straight to the point, nice and simple, right?
Yeah, especially the one before that one.
But yeah, there's yes, indeed.
I don't like it when people say those things.
Yeah, indeed. So, am I the arsehole for accidentally making an OP character on my first try? So me and my few friends wanted to start a D&D campaign. The others have a little bit of experience, mostly just watching campaigns and playing. You scared me. I saw you at the corner of my eye just going.
Because I breathe quite loudly.
Yes.
I'm a bit of a mouth breather.
Bit of a mouth breather.
So some of the times to not get that audio in, I'll just...
I just saw really slowly. Sorry. They've mostly just been watching campaigns and playing a little bit, but I've never played or watched the game. I just did some research on how the game works. So we all take a little while to create our own custom characters, and I end up making a druid who doesn't have any attacks that come directly from them. Instead, their only form of attack is to summon minions to fight for them. Just for some context, my favourite animal is a capybara, so I tried to base my character's background and magic on that. So my main way of fighting is to summon capybaras, giant rats,
totally fine,
using the spell Conjure Animals, since the giant rats are 1/8 challenge rating, and I'm able to summon 8 of them with the spell. I also picked Circle of the Shepherd for bonus health that I can get from the bear totem spirit. I also have some other stuff that buffed the capybaras to be really strong. Willow. My last druid. Willow.
See, the thing is, though, you didn't play it this way.
No, I didn't, no.
Like, there is...
Well, there's still more.
Okay.
Still more?
But I'll just say it right now. I know... Look, I love building super overpowered characters. Live for it. Love it. It's amazing. It's the best thing ever. I love character creation. The Circle of the Shepherd Druid can be one of the most overpowered characters in the game.
Oh, yeah. Having them totems.
If you build it right.
Having those totems.
And being able to, like, just
keep everything up.
Healing
just
everything.
Keep everything constantly
and having
up.
that many pets.
Yes. Having 8. Well, we'll get on to it.
Yeah, sorry, Karen.
So, also love the capybaras.
Capybaras, man, that's
love the big.
so dope.
We always say that Bully looks like a big capybara.
He does look like a big capybara.
Yeah. So basically, I get completely shut down by my friend who's running the campaign. He basically says that my build would just ruin the game for everyone else, since my spirits could just go and win every fight, while the rest of the party just stood back. Because of that, I've basically decided to quit D&D, at least for a while now, since I put a lot of effort into my character and their fighting style, just to need to scrap them because they're too OP. Sorry for the text dump, but I just wanted to see what others thought on this, since it kind of bummed me out. Also, I can send the character sheet, but it might not have all the information, etc., etc. We were going to start at 3rd level, so I wouldn't actually have conjure animals yet, because it's a 5th level spell. So I would have basically just been a pacifist till 5th level. I think what they're saying is it's a 3rd level spell and they get it at 5th level. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, sorry, I feel like actually that didn't really add much onto the conversation.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good to hear it all.
Now, I also summoned a lot of animals.
Yes.
However, I always said from the very beginning, I would never summon more than, I think, 2 was the most I ever had, or maybe 3.
3, yeah, I think you're 3.
I think I had 3 at one point, because I knew, but this is just from being an experienced player, I knew having 8 more bodies on the battlefield would have been hell for everyone.
You need to have a very patient group and a very patient DM.
Yep.
To have your go summon 8 summons.
8 summons and then have
all of them go.
Exactly.
And then to take care, like, it depends. Are you going to take care of their health?
I know.
The DM going to take, because if the DM's going to take care of that stuff as well and they track their initiatives,
are they going to go all on separate initiatives? Are they going to go on the same? Like, do you know? It's a lot.
Fucking nightmare.
That is an absolute nightmare.
I don't think just outright saying to the player, "No, you can't play that."
Yeah,
is fair.
And again,
come to a compromise.
The player has said, I don't know anything about D&D.
Yeah.
I can say that now in hindsight because I have played that and I know how combat works and it's a turn-based game, etc. However, this person obviously didn't know. They had no idea.
I hope that when the DM said no, he didn't just say, like, oh, it'll be overpowered. Like, you need to give actual reasons to why.
Why
like,
it is.
Is there anything that this person could have changed instead of being like, no, you can't play that?
Yeah,
full stop. Like, if you just shut that down.
Yeah. That's exactly what OP said. I got completely shut down. They said I would ruin the game for everyone else because my animals would just go in and everyone would just have to stand back.
You can just make harder combats.
If they just gave some clarification to being like, look, there's XYZ amount of players in the game. You add another 8 people in.
9 with yourself.
That's another 9 turns that other people aren't doing things, and it's turn-based.
It's a turn-based combat.
You know, this person might just assume that summoning all these animals is just like one big spell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think the DM should have clarified more for you.
Way more clarification.
But at the same time, the DM had also never DM'd before as well.
But then how did they know?
I know. Did they just base it off on assumptions?
Did they just like go on the internet and see the build and be like, oh, I'm not allowing that?
Yeah.
Because that's also not good.
Yeah. I definitely think it's the same with everything, right? There should be some give and take.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that shutting it down with no explanation is just such a bad way to do it.
Yeah, you have to be able to give.
You know, it's your game as a DM. If you don't want it for any particular reason, then you should at least come to a compromise.
You should at least have a conversation, right?
Just be like, okay, if you want to summon the 8 beasts, let's just sort of like, we'll condense it down. We'll group them up. We'll do 4.
We'll do like a swarm or something like that.
Yeah, we'll do like a swarm mechanic. We'll do like 4 beasts and there's 2 in each one or something like that.
And I understand the DM being intimidated by that as well, especially because they're new.
That's an intimidating build to deal with as a first-time DM.
Totally. I think
it's a very intimidating. That's a really, really, really strong build.
Yeah, well, my character, that was exactly what my character was. Yeah. And again, I played it slightly different to this.
Like in a less powerful way than that. But she was still very, powerful. Very powerful.
She still, whenever she had that totem up.
There was my first campaign was a Vengeance Paladin, a Circle of Shepherd Druids, and then an Aberrant Mind Sorcerer.
Yeah.
So like 3 very potent subclasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
But you know, like my players were patient with me as I learned how to balance them.
Yeah, and you know what? Because it was the first time playing a druid, and druids, you know, druids can be kind of tough sometimes. There's a lot to a druid.
You don't even have to say kinda. The druid is, apart from I would say the wizard, I would say it's probably, I would even say it's more complicated than the wizard.
Yeah, there's a lot to a druid. It's great.
It's great.
I love druids. But, you know, it was my first time playing, and I actually didn't settle into the whole summoner until we were actually quite late into the combat.
That's the way it is.
The campaign, even.
That's the way it is.
So, yeah, OP. No, you are not the asshole, especially because you accidentally did this. I don't think you intentionally...
I think they definitely looked for a powerful build.
Oh, yeah, of course, but I don't think they intentionally were like, I'm going to...
I say that as there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, if that's the way you want to play the game, fair.
Yeah, and I think, I just love the flavouring as well.
Capybaras.
I love the flavouring.
I think, you know, I get it. I get not wanting to take that on as a first
I
time.
totally get both sides.
But I definitely think you should have tried to work together.
100%.
Or even just give good explanations as to why.
100%. And I'm sorry that you felt like you had to quit.
Yeah,
I promise you that there is an even ground here.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe... I don't necessarily know if you just... I don't know the context, but if you were just like, well, I'm quitting, then I don't necessarily know if that's the right attitude to have as well. I think...
I mean, if you put a lot of effort into something and then someone just flat out says, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I know, for no reason as well.
Yeah, if there was no explanation, then I can understand why you would want to just quit.
I think that your DM owed it to you to have more of a conversation, and there should have been meeting in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. So I would say if anyone is the asshole, it's more the DM.
Yeah, but I would
still,
say,
I also understand.
I would say no one's really the asshole.
Yeah, there was just a breakdown of communication.
Yeah, totally. I feel like all of these, or the majority of these, apart from number 7, we won't say his awful name again. But yeah, I think a lot of everything could just be solved with a bit of communication.
Yeah.
Again, that's easy for us to say.
Again, yes, very easy for us to say.
Very easy for us to say. So that's everything.
That is everything.
That's the lot.
That's the lot.
That's
your fill.
That's your fill.
Get out of here.
That's it. You're still hungry?
But don't get out of here until
you've
clicked the like button if you liked what you heard.
Yep.
Left us a comment down below with if you've experienced any stories like this or any Army of the Arseholes. Check the description for the submission form. Please subscribe.
Yes.
If you liked it enough, consider hitting the subscribe button because it is free.
Yes.
Doesn't cost anything to hit that subscribe button.
Not a penny.
And then if you like us enough to want to know when we upload these videos, click the bell to be notified when we upload our next video.
Yes. Totally.
Mondays and Thursdays, baby.
Well, once again, we say it every time. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for leaving all your comments. Yeah. Thank you for your constant support. We truly wouldn't be here without you. And with that, we've been the Eldritch Podblast.
Squad Blaster salute.
We'll see you next time. Bye.